from the WKYT streaming studios, this is Game Time Unplugged.
Hello and welcome into WKYT's Game Time Unplugged. I'm Lindsay Goff. He's Caden Gaylord Day. It's a new year. Caden, did you have a nice holiday season?
Yeah, I feel like I haven't been on here in so long. I couldn't tell you the last time I did Game Time Unplugged.
Well, we'll make sure you get your fill of it.
No, I'm good. You know, I've been working hard.
So, UK women's basketball started the new year off with a statement win, for sure, over number 5 LSU last night. They go down to Baton Rouge, win by 2. Really, really impressive win. That was their highest ranked road victory in program history. Shout out to Corey Price for that stat. Any thoughts?
Yeah, that's a huge.
I have a lot of thoughts about this one.
Time win. I mean, you know, Toni Morgan. I just want to start with her. She hit the game winner there, or go ahead, really game winner shot there. For her to step up, have 24 points, 12 assists, and zero turnovers? I mean, absolutely insane. I was telling you guys.
The assist-to-turnover ratio goes crazy.
I don't like comparing women's to men's players, but when I watch her play, it's just Chris Paul to me. And Chris Paul is one of my favorite players, controls the pace of everything, sees everybody on the court, knows where everybody's at. I mean, I watched her have an assist last week here against Hofstra that shouldn't have made the pass, should not have even gotten through, but it did it for a 3. So, you know, watching her play is just awesome. She's really, you know, probably the best floor general in the country right now. In college women's basketball.
At least going into Christmas was the assist leader in the country.
I mean, I think she also has the most games where she doesn't have any turnovers so far this season with
3.
a bunch of assists. Yeah. So, I mean, she is absolutely insane.
She has 3 games with 10 assists, no turnovers so far, which is also impressive.
So, you know, for her to step up in that big moment and playing down there, you know, in that stage, it was just awesome. And
students weren't on campus, but the Pete Maravich Center was rowdy last night. It was dressed like Kim Mulkey night. There was a lot of sequins, feathers going on. And they introduced Lane Kiffin. So there was like a lot going on. I had a thought and it just totally left me, but I said this to Dick Gabriel earlier today, that when Toni Morgan came into Kentucky, we were all, you know, she's got big shoes to fill, right? Georgia Amore was a generational player, and the bond that her and Kenny Brooks had, and that's all true, right? Like, Georgia Amore's a star. But she's come in flawlessly, and she's not Georgia. She is Toni. She plays her own game. And the players have said that all along. Like, yeah, sure, there are similarities, but, like, she's her own player, and she's not afraid to do that. And it's working out tremendously. Oh,
absolutely. And then you got to look, you know, at the boards. You know, the rebounding numbers were astronomically different. I was at 45 to 29, 17 offensive rebounds for Kentucky. Jordan Obi had 10. Tiani Key had 16. I'm going off the top of my head here.
That seems right. I think Tiani had a double-double.
I mean, and that's her first game back. You know, she's missed the last 2, dealing with her lingering injuries.
And she dealt with some foul trouble.
Yeah, and, you know, for her to have a double-double and a career high in rebounds in that stage
in Baton Rouge.
Yeah. 17 points, 16 rebounds. Jordan Obi, 6 points, 10 rebounds. Clara Strack, 15 and 9. I mean, that's crazy that they're so dominated on the boards that well.
And they have the triplets, right? Tiani, Clara, and Amelia. And LSU contained Amelia. She's kind of been the X factor in a lot of games. She didn't have any points.
Or rebounds.
And Kentucky is still able to pull out a win against number 5 LSU. All right, so a really impressive win for Kenny Brooks' squad. They're back in action Sunday, hosting Missouri. Man, they got a gauntlet. They start with LSU and they end SEC play with South Carolina.
I mean, even these next few games, you know, aren't easy at all. Missouri's 12-4. They've had a good start to the season. Alabama's 14-1. Oklahoma's 8th in the country, 13-1. So those are their next few games. So the SEC is not going to be easy this year at all.
And I feel like we've said that in every sport, like volleyball, men's basketball, football. Like, it just means more, right? All right, so UK men's basketball, they start conference play tomorrow, Saturday at noon. They go to Tuscaloosa to face the number 14 Crimson Tide. Also starting off with a challenge for sure. A return to Coleman Coliseum for Mo Diabate. I wouldn't be surprised if he popped out and had a big game. And hopefully, yeah, we get to see two halves of basketball with the team at full strength.
Yeah, I was going to make a joke. The schedule makers did not like Kentucky for some reason this year. Women starting off down in LSU, men starting off down in Alabama. This Alabama team, they're obviously a good team. NATO's offense, you got to be able to shoot the ball. But I don't think they're as good of a shooting team as they have been in years past. So
I think that goes for the whole league.
Yeah. So
on the men's side, it's not as tough as it was last year.
Yeah, yeah.
But
so
still,
hopefully, Kentucky can lock in defensively. That's been a struggle for them at times.
Enter Mo Diabate.
Yeah, exactly. So, him returning home. I don't know if he had any beef with Alabama or like that, but he's had a couple texts these past few games or so. So he might pull something like that as well. But yeah, defensively they got to step up. You seen talk about JQ stepping in at the 4, which I don't know how that's going to work. I mean,
they were
open
experimenting
to it,
with that. I know, like on that Christmas layoff where they were just practicing, and they had mentioned trying to play too big, so I assume that would be like Malachi and JQ or Brandon Garrison and JQ.
And that's fine, but also I don't think you can have a pair of those two plus Mo on the court at the same time, because you're really going to shrink the floor. And when you're going up against a team like
shooters.
Alabama,
yeah, we'll see.
You got shooters. But yeah, we'll see. Jalen Lowe, a lot of fans have been asking for him to be a starter now, but I think for him it's all about managing his injury and trying to just get him through the season. So if you want to start him, cool, but him coming off the bench I think is a good role for him.
It's working.
Yeah, exactly. So you're going into another hostile environment. You played in Louisville earlier this season against a very hostile crowd.
Yeah.
So
you don't say.
So hopefully the guys can be settled in more as we start conference play and go to more true road games.
I haven't seen a line for that one, but I did see that ESPN Analytics had Alabama as the favorite, which they're ranked and they're on their home court, so that's not totally shocking. But I think we'll learn a lot about this UK men's team in the month of January now that everybody's healthy, and you're going to start playing a consistent schedule, kind of that Wednesday, Saturday routine. So I think we're going to learn a whole lot about Mark Pope's team in the next coming weeks, and that starts tomorrow. That's a noon game on ESPN.
Kicking off the new year, right?
No kidding. We'll have the highlights for you. Caden specifically will have the highlights for you tomorrow night. All right, we're going to take a quick timeout, and we'll be back to talk some football and transfer portal.
From the WKYT streaming studios, this is Game Time Unplugged.
All right, welcome back to WKYT's Game Time Unplugged. I'm Lindsay, he's Caden. We talked some hoops before the break. We got to mention football. We're still sharing custody of Will Stein with Oregon for at least another week. They won, so they're going to play in the Peach Bowl on the 9th. That's a week from today. But by all accounts, he's back in Lexington to host some portal official visits this weekend. They're still trying to build their staff. I think we're up to like 12 staffers now, something like that.
It's almost fully staffed.
Yeah, you got to get like some support staff and things like that. But yeah, the portal's going to be the big thing in the coming days. A lot of names floated around, whether they're coming or not. Sam Leavitt probably being the big one, the Arizona State quarterback. It looks like we might end up just like trading quarterbacks with ASU.
Interesting.
They could have Cutter Boley. I guess we could have Sam Leavitt. I don't know. Any hot takes on the portal?
I was wondering like a few days ago, like how this would go, because he's hired most of his staff.
It's a lot going on
while he's not been in Lexington.
Which I think it's easier to do that, right?
Yeah.
You could talk to them; they're grown-ups.
Yeah.
You don't have to host them and show them campus and like, do you want a job or not?
Right,
So I feel like it's easier, and most of them he's had previous relationships with.
Yeah.
I think the staff is easier than like building the roster from afar.
Yeah. Most of them come from 90 miles down the road too, so.
Yeah. I still follow a lot of Louisville media people just from like when I worked there, and they're like, dude. The Louisville diehards are kind of hating it.
Yeah. But
rivalry week will be interesting.
But so I was wondering, how's he gonna pull this off? But it was reported that he was flew back to Lexington last night around. So
whatever
he's
bowl
here.
They were in, I forget.
For too many bowls. But yeah, so he's back here hosting a lot of guys taking visits this weekend. And the portal officially opened today. So as soon as it opened, boom, over 1,000 guys are in the portal. So
it's crazy.
College football is totally different now. But bringing in a lot of names that a lot of people didn't think would look at Kentucky. I don't think anybody really had Sam Leavitt on the radar for the most part. It was the backup for Oregon, and then who else am I missing that was linked to Kentucky? Oh, TCU's.
Texas running back.
Yes, and then Texas running back, TCU's quarterback. A lot of those guys were brought in, but CJ Baxter. Excuse me, I had to think about it. I knew it was B-A.
Yeah.
So I had to think
it's
about
a lot of
Baxter,
names.
Yes. He is reportedly just about almost locked up, to come to Kentucky. So that's a big time get there,
Well, and then Leavitt had the do not contact tag.
Exactly.
So he obviously has it down to if it's not just Kentucky, it's very few that he wants to talk to.
So the fact that, Stein is bringing in big names or bringing in guys from big time programs already, it shows that Kentucky can take that next step like an Indiana has already. Vanderbilt has.
Yeah, you're seeing these quote-unquote basketball schools compete.
Yeah.
Why can't Kentucky?
Exactly. So, it wasn't that long ago Kentucky had 10 wins. Kentucky's been competing against some of the top teams in the SEC. So, if you're able to do that in the recruiting battle and in this NIL world we're in now, I think he's going to be off to a great start.
Well, and Sam Leavitt's been in the playoffs. A lot of the staffers have been in the playoffs. They're bringing in that culture and that mindset that, like, hey, we're not just trying to get to 6 wins in a bowl game. Like, we have bigger aspirations than that. And
especially because, you look at next year's schedule. It is a godly.
It don't get any easier.
I really, fear that a lot of fans are going to, make quick judgments on next year's schedule, but it is a very tough schedule. So if he's able to bring in a lot of these big time names from big time programs in year one and they're able to compete, I'm good. Hey, I'm all for it. Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Well, the portal is open, and we'll probably have some updates on that on Monday. That's it for now on WKYT's Game Time Unplugged. Thanks for watching, and we will see you guys next week. Have a nice weekend, everybody.